Stephen, congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
What's your thoughts on it? Do you?
I think they should rename the Manager of the Month award to Coach and Team of the Month, to be honest, because obviously I get great support on a daily basis and round the clock really from my staff. So if we can change the name to that individual award, it would be very nice. In terms of the players one, I think Scotty certainly deserves his no end. I think he's been by far the best player in the league over the last 4 to 5 weeks, scoring goals, making goals, but not just that, the work that he does off the ball for the team. Someone who empties the tank on a daily basis in training, and he's been an absolute pleasure to coach. So I'm pleased for Scotty for his award. In terms of mine, with all due respect, we move on, and my focus is certainly on Hibs and trying to get another win.
It's the first awards for you guys this season though, so does it show that you're getting the recognition for maybe the consistency and the form that you're finding?
I think it recognises how well the team are playing and all the hard work that's gone in to reach this level. But we want to continue to keep improving and moving forward and getting stronger. And I never ever be disrespectful to individual accolades, of course. They're always nice along the way, but I'm sure Scotty will back me up on this. It's certainly team awards that we're all striving for. You know, we've worked ever so hard to give it a good shot this year, but unfortunately it just hasn't been the case, and we're looking forward with confidence and belief that we can make more of a competitive effort next year.
A couple of bits of good news this week with the announcement of Jake signing for next year and Stephen as well. Just your thoughts on both?
Yeah, Jake's one who'll join the first team squad next season. I think he's a very exciting prospect. Recently being rewarded with an under-21 call-up. And obviously I'm very aware that we want success now and as quick as we can, but it's also very important that we keep trying to strengthen this team and this club for many, many years, and Jake will certainly help us do that. He's someone who's got answers in the final third of the pitch, whether that be in a 1v1, whether it be to assist a goal or score a goal. I think his return 7 in 16-17 appearances, which is a hell of a return for a player so young who has recently been on loan elsewhere. So I think the Motherwell staff have done a really good job with him. And yeah, he's one we're really excited to work with, and hopefully we can continue to develop him and he can become a regular starter here at some point. Stephen Davis was one we always had an idea that we were going to try and make it longer than 6 months. I think with playing regular game time, you can see he's back in top form. Alongside Scott, he's been consistent, certainly over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So we're pleased for Stephen. We're pleased that he's got some more security in where he's going to be, and with a full pre-season under his belt, I'm sure he'll be ready to help us challenge for major honours next year.
In terms of your own nominations today, your prizes you got today, you've seen 2 of your players as well this week get nominated for the Player of the Year award. Is that another pleasing aspect for the club?
Yeah, I'm always very pleased to see the players get recognised individually. I think it shows that we've got good players, players that are up there with the other top players in the league. So yeah, I'm very pleased for Ryan and Alfredo, of course, but we'll wait to see whether they win them awards. Obviously they're up against good competition. I think the Celtic lads have had equally excellent seasons as well, so we'll see how they do. We wish them luck and we'll see how that pans out.
Stephen, in terms of Jake, he's obviously been a regular starter for Motherwell in recent months. Is it a case with him that you say that he might have to take maybe a step back from being a regular first team player to develop a bit more to then break into your team?
Yeah, but we don't see it as a step back. I think Jake, like all the other 23 to 25 first team squad members, has got the opportunity in pre-season over a 4 to 6 week period to impress and really fight for a shirt. You know, even the lads that are in the 11 now will tell you that, you know, people are breathing down the neck to take that shirt off them, and that's the way it's got to be. We want competition for places. Jake's coming in to help us have more answers in the final third where we've fell short at certain times this year. He's a young boy, of course. We'll have to show a little bit more patience with the younger lads. You know, I don't treat Jake like I'd treat Scotty, who's got Premiership experience and international experience. I can be a bit more forceful with your Arfields and your Davises than I can with with your Hasties and McCrories, you manage them different, but it's important we've got the right balance and blend in the squad of young lads, middle-aged guys in terms of football career that are about to peak, and also experienced people who've been around the block who know what to do, when to do it, and can also help me manage the dressing room, and that's where Scott comes in.
Stephen, you spoke last week about Ryan Kent, and you said it would likely be a decision for Ryan and Liverpool whether or not he was here next year. We spoke to him earlier this week and he said it was a possibility he might stay. Is that sort of reassuring for you? Is that a good sign?
It's not as reassuring as it would be if it's seen as signature on a dotted line, but you know, it is a possibility. That's where it's at. It's probably too early for Ryan to make his decision, but the important thing is Ryan knows he's wanted here. I think, to be fair to the club, they're doing everything they can to make it happen and giving me the support I need on it. Ryan knows we want him, Liverpool know we want Ryan, but we also have to be respectful that the kid's got a big decision to make, and I'm sure there's people queuing up for his services because he's such a top player.
He spoke about the fact that he's had a few loan spells and he's now looking to sort of put down some permanent roots. I mean, I suppose that sort of underlines the importance of the decision. Does he stay here? Does he go somewhere else and have to start again?
Yeah, I think what he means by that is he wants football happiness, and I think, you know, when you're coming down to making these decisions, not just in Ryan's case, in any footballer's case, sometimes you have to forget what's coming into your ears from all kinds of different directions, and you have to think, where am I going to be happy playing my football? You know, who do I want to share a dressing room with? Who's going to help me enjoy my football and show me best form? And Ryan's being accepted in this dressing room. The players love him. Now, my advice to Ryan is, go where you think you're going to be happy. Go where you think you can go and improve your numbers in terms of assists and goals and take your career to the next level. We hope that's going to be Rangers, but if I was Ryan, he has to make the decision for himself and not really listen to all kinds of noise from all kinds of different directions. Go and find football happiness, because that's where you'll play your best for.
Seeing it begin to make their sort of move in the transfer market in the sense that you can get players in early, just how crucial is that for you to get a settled squad knowing that the season starts so quickly?
I mean, if the player's right and the target's right, you want to get them in as early as you can so they settle as quick as they can, of course. But at the same time, you don't want to rush decisions just because it opens earlier or because you can do it. I think you'd have to identify your targets who you think are going to strengthen your 11 and your squad, and you try and strike when the time's right. But if it means being patient for longer than what people want, for example, in a Kent scenario, we will wait as long as we need to wait, because we know the player, we know what he offers, we know he fits into the system we want to play. So different players and different targets, you strike at different times. It just depends, you know, what suits.
Reports this week that you're interested in Andre Gray from Watford on loan. Your thoughts on that one?
Well, I get asked every single week about a different name and a different player. I get all my press cuttings and I get briefed on all my press, and there's 4 or 5 different names every press conference, so I'm wasting your time and my time commenting on any of them until there's any truth or substance. It's just all speculation, unfortunately.
Not on specific players, but how confident you know Rangers have not only obviously the appeal but the financial power to get a player of that quality, champion Premier League quality, should I say?
Well, I think that's probably a question you'd have to ask the board or Dave King. I don't know exactly where we stand in terms of budgets and stuff just yet. I'm sure I will in due time. But the board have been very supportive and backed me in a lot of ways, and they've helped me to bring Premiership level players here before. So, you know, I don't think anyone would be surprised if and when a player of that calibre of game was available, if I felt he was going to help strengthen the team and it made financial sense for the club. I'm sure I'll get the backing, but we'll have to wait and see.
The man sitting next to you has been linked this morning as well with the move back to the Premier League.
That doesn't surprise me.
So you're trying to build something here though as well. So there's that. I guess there's that fine balancing line that you, with the players that you want to get in here and the senior guys in the dressing room as well. Presumably Scott, you don't want to lose at all.
I don't want to lose Scott, that's for sure. He's a player we're trying to build it round, and we worked ever so hard to get him in the door in the first place. But the reality is it works pretty simple. I tell you guys I don't want him to go until I'm not I love him live on air and want him to stay. But the way football works at any single football club is every single player has a price, and them decisions sometimes get took out of my hand and Scott's hand. So we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. But he knows very well that we want him to stay here at Rangers and we don't want him to go anywhere, because we want to keep our best players because they give us a better chance of being successful.
Scott?
Presumably, you know, this is a place you feel comfortable with, and you've tasted the Premier League, but you know what you've got here as well.
Of course, I think over the last kind of 2 years I've not played enough football. Kind of a year and a half at Burnley where I was in and out the team. This is the happiest I've been in years, is to be at this football club, to wear this badge, to walk around here, to be back in Glasgow, and my family's settled. I'm fully focused on doing the right things for Rangers to win games, and that's my full focus at the minute.
So we can rule that out then, we can rule out you moving in the summer?
You's know more about it than me. You's know more about it. For me,
Roy Hodgson's got my number as well, so I'm sure if he wanted Scott and he's got enough money, we can have a conversation, but the message would be he's not going anywhere.
In terms of, just going back to the awards that the pair of you won, Scott, why do you feel it's taken this point in the season to get that consistency and those results?
Well, I think it's good players playing at right times now. I think consistency over the seasons, why we felt short. To put a finger on it, then it's hard to do so, but I think now we've got footballers in the team that can handle the ball, that kind of play to the strength. Everybody knows how to play this system that we're playing. We're hurting teams in different ways, and everybody's in the right direction. So it's took this long, but I think it's a sad thing for us that it's coming to an end so quickly with 3 games to go. But we wanted to finish as strong as possible and hit the ground running next season.
You've also had a wee bit of a sort of slight positional change of playing a bit further forward, closer to Jermaine. Has that brought the best out of you, do you think?
Well, I think it was very important when you've got a player like Jermaine that you get close to him and help him as much as possible. He's a clinical finisher. He goes in behind. He makes it ever so easy for the wingers and for the number 8s to get up and help him, because you know he's going to keep the ball. So when he was playing up, we knew that we had to get close to him and make it tough as possible for oppositions and give him a different way to playing against them. And it just so happens that when he gets chances, he's ever so clinical, and that's what you get when you invest the money in a player like that to bring him up here.
Have you got a point to prove against Hibs this weekend, given results against them this season?
You get points to prove every time you wear the badge. Everybody's cup finals against us, we know that. And we're there to win games. We're in a rich vein of form. Everybody's happy in the system that we're playing. We're going after teams and we're scoring goals, so we're confident we can do the same.
Would you make it Hibs under Paul Heckingbottom? They seem to have sort of come on a lot.
Yeah, done great. Seen a lot of them. Done absolutely fantastic since he's come in. Good footballers again. They like to get the ball down and play, so it's for a good game on Sunday.
Stephen, you got a big decision to make in terms of who starts up front if you're just going with the one striker, given the way Jermaine's played and Alfredo been back from suspension.
Yeah, but that's always the case in every area of the team. Scott will tell you, we've got a big squad here and it's quite healthy at the moment, so people are pushing for people's positions in the team all over the pitch. That's my job, that's what I get paid to do, is to make big decisions, but I'm certainly one who will be loyal to players. In any area of the team, you play well and you deserve to keep the shirt, unless we've got a really, really busy schedule where we need to manage and offload. You keep the shirt. That's the message. That's the message I've been drilling since day one, and I don't think I'll ever change. I always try and take myself back to when I played, and when you judge yourself and you self-reflect, and the first question you always ask coming off the pitch is, did I do enough to start in the next game? So I'll always be loyal to players in that situation.
You spoke a few weeks ago about Alfredo and saying that his disciplinary problems, what would happen the most is missing games. Have you seen that through the last 4 games? Has he been sort of cut off, frustrated figure in the training ground, anything like that?
I've seen it all season. I think Alfredo's one that doesn't really hide it well when he is suspended or he has to miss a game, because he loves playing football. He's a top player, and he's one you'd have to drag off the training pitch. He loves being out there and stuff, so I'm sure he's learned a lot in the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks, however long it's been, and hopefully we'll see that from now till the end of the season, if and when he's given an opportunity. But discipline is a word that's come up an awful lot in our press conferences, and we have been hurt and damaged at certain times, either whether it be through injury or suspension and not having key players available at key times. So the message to the whole team, not just Alfredo, is, you know, we want them to be aggressive and play and be strong and be physical, but in the right way. And it's important we keep 11 men on the pitch moving forward, because it helps us and gives us a better chance of being successful.
You can ask the coach that people come with the reserve league. What are your thoughts on the reserve league? Why you think it's working a lot for your players?
I seen the piece yesterday, and apparently a senior figure at this football club is about to address that situation, so I'm looking forward to seeing who that senior figure is, and I look forward to that interview and him addressing that situation, but it seems as if that's in someone else's hands.
You've seen also the Basel Club in the Youth Cup as well. You've seen how they can progress players.
Yeah, of course. I think they were two fantastic games. I went to see one live, and I also watched the second one, and I think both clubs and both teams, to be fair, have got a lot of talent that they're trying to produce and put along the conveyor belt. Two excellent matches, both 3-2 games, late winners, very dramatic games, but I think both sets of players deserve a hell of a lot of credit for the standard, because they were two top games.
Team news for the weekend, any injuries?
Ryan Jack, where we are right now, obviously we've still got 48 hours to go, but he's got a throat problem. I'm not a doctor, but I think it's some kind of throat infection of some sort, so I think he'll be out there today, but he won't do the full session, so we'll have to make a decision on him in the next couple of days. Everyone else is fit and well, I think, and pushing. Gareth McCauley's got a hamstring problem, he won't play again for us this season. Can't think of anyone else. I think we're fine from there.